What's up, guys, and welcome to the DrumQuig Podcast, episode 16, or as we have already aptly called it, Sweet 16. And I'm here with a very special guest, an incredible drummer, somebody I got to meet at the local music scene who's done such big things. He's got so many projects going on and a really big concert coming up. Heavy Pets drummer, Jamie Newitt. How we doing, man?
Doing great, man. Yeah, just kind of kicking it right now.
I had to give you the big introduction because I know you're always doing all these projects. And like I said, I'm going right into it. You've got the show at Janus next month, a month from today.
Yeah, really a month from today.
Talk about how exciting that is to have a 20th anniversary show at Janus at a venue like that, and what that means to you and the guys.
Man, it's huge. The 2-night run we have for the December thing. We generally kind of have traditionally done like a little holiday kind of run around this time, around that same time. So kind of keeps with that theme. So we're doing the Miami Beach band shell the night before, which is another epic. I don't know if you've been there, but
no.
Yeah, it's so cool. One of these days, get yourself to a show. They've been doing a lot of really cool stuff. And then obviously Janus. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's been 20 years since the Heavy Pets have been a band. That's like, time flies. I was in for I might be sweet 16 of it. I think
that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Yeah, we'll say 16. It's like 16, 17, something like that. So most of it, and time flies. It's really, really crazy. So we thought doing these shows just felt like the right thing to do. Celebrate kind of a landmark. And we're super stoked. We got a ton of special guests. They're not announced yet, so I'm gonna keep it on the DL for now. But very soon they're gonna be announced. Like some really cool stuff. And we got Guavatron, and we got Minim, and yeah.
Dude, it's so crazy because it's like, I think of these bands, we were talking about what's behind me, the bands like Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, who played at Dunedin Brewery and then have the, success they do. And seeing you guys get, I don't want to call it a big break because you guys have been playing for 20 years. Like, this isn't like, we just came back and we wanted to celebrate. Like, you guys have just constantly been on the grind and doing. Like,
totally. What
keeps you guys, like, that motivated? What keeps you guys, just cranking out the music like you do?
I think everybody is at heart just a hardcore musician, man. It's like it hasn't wavered for anybody in that respect, and it's easy to do that. Like nothing on anybody who does, but it's not easy to just continuously play and like make that your career essentially. So you got to be really passionate about it, I think, for the most part. So everybody's just super passionate, and the band, like, as far as we're concerned, it's, kicking ass, and we're constantly kind of, exploring new territory, and, there's been some really cool developments with just our like approach to jamming recently, and things have been really fresh. So it's love of the game, man. Everybody's been in it for this long, and everybody in their own respect is always playing music and doing something, so I think that's what it is. It's just passion for what the band has built and what the band has done and become, and whatever scene we've kind of created, I should say. But yeah, that's
like
really
already curated. You took something that was there and you made it your own. Like, you made it like it's like a museum, but better with music.
Yeah, so everybody kind of does that, if you're in a band or you're an artist, yeah, you're kind of curating your own little world, right? So I guess everybody does that. We definitely have that going on.
And I can't think of a better transition for that. Like, you talk about you guys always playing music, always doing things, and we talked about side projects. So talk a little bit about some of the things you do when you're not with the Heavy Pets that really just keep you like in that frame of mind and in that creative space.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, man. So, I'm like full-time music as far as career wise, I guess. But like I do everything from, obviously we play with the Pets. I do, bar gigs down the street. Like I kind of consider myself like a working class musician, like and ton of just restaurant gigs and, you know, anything you can name. But then also wrapped in that, there's a bunch of side projects, like you mentioned. I have like my own solo project called Tiny Blips, where kind of just recording my own music and putting out records, which has been really kind of really special, and definitely has taken me into a lot of new territory, just like artistically and musically speaking, which has been really cool. And then, you know, I'm doing a thing. We got Brain Emoji with MLB and Joe Marcinik from you know, the brewery. That's something that's starting to be pretty fun. And yeah, like a lot of pickup work. I do a bunch of studio work too. So recording for other people and helping produce some stuff for other people. And you know, I kind of got a lot of irons in the fire with that.
And that's super exciting too, because the Tiny Blip stuff is so different. It's so beyond that normal scope of what you've, made with the rest of it. The same thing with Brain Emoji. Like, it's a completely different animal when it comes down to it. So it's so much fun to see that freedom to, like, really be creatively expressive in other mediums. And, like you said, making all your own stuff. Like, I think making physical copies of work in any capacity anymore changes everything. So
yeah, definitely, man. It's out there, whether if all of computers and if all that just like blows up or whatever, there's something tangible for somebody to find. It's there, which is kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, totally, man. Always staying busy. It's fun. Just dip your toes into different scenarios. Yeah, but I'm recording with the guitarist Danny Mayer too. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was in the Alan Evans trio from Soul Live and the Eric Krasno band, and he's like kind of in with those dudes. Yeah, and then a lot of other recording projects for tons of people.
It's crazy that you've established, like you said, the working class musician. It's not really a phrase you hear very often. You either got the guy who's gigging on the weekends when he's not working, or the guy who's doing nothing but it. Like, to do it in between, you do it because you love it. It's not just like, oh, I need to get paid. Like, I'm doing this because I love and I'm passionate about bringing music to people in all different styles.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure, man. And that always keeps the fuel, the fire burning. I also teach, like, that. The other thing is, like, during the day I teach. I got a bunch of students, so I kind of teach like full time during the days, and that keeps it burning in other ways too. Like, seeing somebody starting for the first time, or just like seeing the passion that different people have, and like there are different levels of commitment to practicing and getting better, and like it really is. It's cool. It's cool to do that as well. So it all kind of influences each other.
Yeah. And I feel like I've paid you to segue us into the next topic, but you've done such a great job. We talk about you getting to watch these people get their start. Like, what gave you your start? When did your passion really come through and become apparent that this was maybe what you wanted to do?
Yeah, it's funny. So like I grew up in a pretty musical, artistic household. Like my dad was like a professional artist and an art professor, and my mom's like a professional musician and piano player and piano teacher, and like she taught like K through 8 general music for 20 whatever. So my sister's also a musician too. She's older than me, so she came up doing it. So I was kind of surrounded by music. But it's funny when you ask when the passion hit me. Like, I played piano. That was like the first thing I did from, as early as I can remember. My mom had us playing piano. And it didn't really, like, the passion, I didn't really connect with it super hard. Like, I did it, and I learned a lot. I wish I had stuck with it a little longer. I played a lot more now, but
yeah,
but it was finding the drums that really, like, sparked, like you're talking about, passion. So yeah, that's what did it. And I was like 14 when I actually, like, got a drum set and started doing the thing. So that was really just sparked by a friend I made in like junior high school happened to have a kid house, and we'd go over there, and he taught me a couple beats, and it was instantly like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing of all time, So yeah, that's kind of where it started.
And I think people really underestimate the idea that the piano is a percussive instrument. Like, it's still and you hear about that all the time where it's like, I know my dad took piano lessons, and the same thing, like, my grandparents didn't want him playing the drums. They were too loud.
Nobody wants, I mean, like I always say, respect to drummer parents, man, because I say it to my students' parents all the time. I'm like, you're some of the good ones, man, because a lot of people shut it down. They're just like, I don't want that racket in my house,
No. Like,
and in a lot of ways, I get it. I understand. Like, they're loud, and it's like you're putting up with a bunch of noise for a long time. So, shouts to all those drum parents out there, for sure.
Absolutely. And you're right, because without their understanding and, kind of pushing, like, it really could stifle that creativeness and really that drive and the passion that the kids have to continue to do it. Because if they're like, oh, I can't play, it's too loud, that's it.
Totally. No, for sure. Yeah, it really takes a lot. I mean, it's not like, a keyboard that you can plug headphones into, or, I mean, even a guitar, you can run, headphones into an amp. I guess you got electric kit now too, so that's a thing. But if you're really gonna play the drums, like,
yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah,
now,
rocking the acoustic kit. But
listen, you see the things they have now, like the drumsticks that are Bluetooth and the way you hit them, and I'm like, I mean, that's cool. I was like, but you're not getting the reverb. You're not getting what it's gonna feel like. And yeah it's quiet because you're not hitting anything. But I'm like, oh, it's not the same. Now, if somebody got them for me, I wouldn't be like, no, I don't want those. I'd be sitting at my desk all day. Just.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
No, totally. It's like the practicality of. I mean, if you're gonna, if your goal is to play drums, like, for people, as a musician, then you got to be playing it for sure. I guess maybe scenarios where you're only playing electric kit and that's all you've done, but I feel like it's few and far from me. But sorry, you were talking about piano being percussive. That's where we kind of.
Yeah.
I think you said your dad was playing piano.
So my dad played piano too, and it's so funny because when I got into band in high school, like, I was on the drum line, I played cymbals, and to anybody who says that doesn't count, it definitely counts.
For sure.
And I'll never forget, like, the first year going to, like, the competition, and somebody was like, nobody pays attention to the cymbals. Like, don't worry. Like, literally, you could do whatever you want, and nobody's paying attention. And I'm playing, and I look up, and I just see one guy, and he's going, and I'm realizing he's doing it when I'm doing it. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's watching me this whole time.
And he knew you were faking it.
No, I was good.
Oh, you were on? Oh,
yeah, I was on it. Yeah. But I'm watching him, and I'm like, he's... okay. I'm like, don't freak out. Like,
He knew the simple part, and he was like playing.
I was like, they had one judge paying attention to us specifically, and he knew every single part and was able to, like, dissect it. And it was so crazy to think about that. So the next year, I was like, I want to play marimba. Like, I want to play something. And you realize how they're all drums. They're all drums. And it's not anything against... It's literally the same concept. You're hitting specific notes and specific rhythms to make specific sounds. Like,
totally, 100%. Yeah, no, kind of like, piano and drums are linked a lot. Marimba and marimba's the hybrid of the two, right? It's like piano and actual mallet percussion. That's what's so cool. That's awesome that you played marimba. I love marimba.
Yeah, we had a guy who he worked for the Magic of Orlando, not the Orlando Magic that everybody thought. The Magic of Orlando, the drum line. And he had us completely restring all of the marimbas, the xylophones, with weed whacker wire.
Whoa.
And I was like, we're like, why are we doing this? And he's like, well, hit this. And you'd hit a note, and it would kind of dull. And then you'd hit it once the weed whacker wire was on there, and it just reverberate.
Yeah, you're talking about, like, the nylon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, as opposed to, because it's like fabric, or not fabric, but it's like
rope.
String.
Yeah, it's like rope. It was basically like rope.
Wow, yeah.
And I just remember, like, neon orange on a black marimba just looked so cool. Like,
that is really cool. Yeah, no, it would completely change how, like, the decay of it.
Yeah.
And all of it, everything. That's cool. I never saw that.
Well, no one else had either, so he looked insane until we started playing, and I was like, then you'd literally have to put your hands on the keys to stop them because they would just keep reverberating.
Totally. Yeah. Really funny.
It's like, oh look, we're done with the song. Oh, look at them all putting their hands. It's because we're stopping the marimba from playing. Like,
that's funny. Maybe that's really funny. Yeah, just the sustain on it.
Yeah. God, I haven't thought about that in like 20 years. That's so funny. Like that was the core memory that got unlocked with all that.
I've always thought it's funny whenever I look at one that's strung. I've never strung one up, but whenever I look at it, I'm like, oh man, that doesn't look fun to have to do that.
Nope. And those things weigh so much.
Yeah.
Like just the keys alone.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's crazy. We go back, going back 20 years, and you think about it, 16 years ago, we decided it's 16 years for you. Being in the band, like, what's like the craziest venue you played that was either like a great experience or something that was just like, oh my God, why are we doing this?
You want maybe one of each. I don't know.
I'll take one of each.
Craziest as in, like most memorable?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I always say we got to play Bonnaroo, which was like a big one for me. I mean, I think for everybody, obviously, but that was my first real, actually, not even real festival. It was the first festival I ever went to. It definitely was.
Jeez.
When I was like 18, it was like, can't really compare it to Woodstock, obviously, but it was like the equivalent for me at 18. Just got into college, and and I went for a couple of years, and it was like life changing for real, going to that and seeing all that music and just the whole experience for a couple of years, and then a handful of years later, getting to play it was like surreally, I was like tearing up on stage because I just had all these memories of that. Really, it's like just going to that festival really set me on a path, just kind of like as a person.
That's wild,
so that was
dude.
a cool one for sure. So I was back on that one, and weird one, man. There's probably too many to even mention. Well, sometimes when I'm on the spot, I can't think of anything, but maybe we'll keep going, and something will
pop up like mid sentence. We'll be like, oh my God.
I'll circle back to it for sure.
So coming, up to this show at Janus we've got next month, like, you've talked about there's surprises even coming, which got me all excited, and I really wanted you to break them because I was like, oh, come on, tell me something.
Yeah, not quite yet, but you'll soon enough.
What's it like preparing for this? The same thing with Bonnaroo. Like, how did you guys prepare for such, a big show? Like, obviously Bonnaroo really had a place in your heart. It was the first festival you went to, playing it just, a few years later. Like, what goes into something like this versus playing at a brewery or playing, a bar gig? Like, where's your head at during all this?
Well, I mean, I think for the Bonnaroo thing, that was like smack in the middle of a tour, so like we were
Perfect.
Like, we were just in it and just doing the thing. But for this, we got some special guests coming up, so we're going to be having some. This month is like rehearsal month. We're going to be getting in it and working it all out. But we've really kind of had like a free flowing kind of approach to it, So like, and obviously playing together for so long, it's like, I think for us going up and just kind of in some ways not having it all planned out is something that we all kind of, it's like a space that we all kind of thrive in a little bit. So, we're going to get the tunes together and rehearse and then work in the special guest stuff. But there's definitely going to be a bunch. Just we don't know what's going to happen. That's for sure.
It's a can't miss show. Like, it really is. With something like that, with a milestone like that, like, it's going to be great. Like,
for sure. Yeah, man.
I'm getting all excited thinking about it now. So I'm like, keep it cool.
Yeah. It's such a great venue too, man. Janus is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, what a cool, it's like, man, it's one of the coolest ones it's just the vibe and the way it looks, and it's such a neat venue.
Yeah, and it's funny the array of music that I've seen there. So
Totally.
it's like, well, you see, they might be Giants, Violent Femmes, Under Oath. Like, there's just been so many different. God,
That's why. Yeah,
I remember the first one was I saw Haste a Day and Hollywood Undead played together.
Wow,
it's a very strange tour.
That's craziness.
But that was my first introduction to Janis that I can remember.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
2007. I have the ticket behind me somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, 2007's early. I definitely didn't see that place in 2007. It probably changed it a little bit. Like they've.
Yeah, so much has changed.
Yeah.
It was Janis Landing. Now it's Janis Live. Not that they really changed it out so much.
I still say Janis Landing too. Like, I pretty much always still say.
All right, 2009. I was off by a couple years.
All right, nice.
But my first mosh pit, and I remember like all of that, like every aspect of that. And so it's like Janis has that special place where it's like it's a music venue, if that makes sense. Like, it's an artist venue. It's really
totally
driven to them, the sound, the amount of work they put into it, and just what they bring band wise into it is just really you can't beat it.
It just feels so cool being there, whether like on stage or watching a show from the crowd. I mean, it's so cool, and the outdoor vibe obviously is always like a special one. It's like, I'll take that place over any indoor venue, period.
Yeah.
That
outdoor vibe in December in Florida, which means it's either going to be 70 degrees or 30. So we'll be ready for it.
Yep.
We talk a lot about the history. We've talked a lot about, where the start came from, but where did your influence come from? Like, who was the drummers that you saw growing up versus who kind of inspires you now that have kind of shaped you to who you have become?
So there's so many, there's so many influences, but I think the main ones that really hit me early. A lot of times people will say, I don't know if you've heard it, like your earliest influences, no matter what direction you go in, they kind of like stay with you. And they did for me, and I find it to be true. I'm sure maybe some people might morph out of them or something like that. But and my first really biggest influences was like Mike Clark. You're familiar with Mike Clark? You know him?
Why does that name sound familiar right now?
He was a drummer in Herbie Hancock's Headhunters for years. He's like a half jazz, half funk dude who's just like totally killer. Really like interactive and really creative, and that he was a huge influence on me. And also Questlove too was like,
of course,
huge. So like, and then I mean, I feel like those are probably the two dominant ones that really like I just dug in super hard to their thing. And then Elvin Jones from John Coltrane's band, I was a big fan. And then the James Brown drummers, Clyde Stubblefield and Jabba, they're in there big time. Tony Williams, another, I'm big, heavy jazz dude.
Of course.
And then Bill Stewart, if you know that guy, I'm a huge fan of Bill Stewart. He's another like super heavy jazz dude. He's played with Scofield for a bunch of stuff and a ton of other amazing records. That's like kind of all early on stuff. And then moving forward, there's like the Bad Plus, if you know Dave King. I don't know if you're familiar with that guy. Ridiculous, another like kind of jazz dude. And then like Brian Blade, I don't know if you know that guy. He's another really killer, it's like a modern jazz player. There's so many. I mean, yeah.
Well, jazz is just its own animal. Jazz to me is, what metal is, what prog metal is. Like, it can be so many different things that are built off the same foundation.
Totally. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like offshoots all over the place, stylistically.
I think about when I got to see you play at Dunedin Brewery, and it was so funny because as we all do, every single drummer, every time we see somebody, we're playing along and we're doing things. And I remember you caught me, like you made eye contact, and then you changed something, and you were watching me, and I changed with you, and we were both like,
Totally.
we're
Totally
like, what is happening right now?
100%. That's awesome, man. Yep. Yep. Drummers be drumming out there for sure.
Absolutely. You know, going back to, you know, the influences, like Metallica was a huge influence. And it's like, we don't talk about St. Anger, we don't talk about the beer keg drum sound.
Yeah, right.
And I know my buddy Dave's going to hit me like 3 messages after this when this airs. He's going to be like, oh, you don't like that? And send me a bunch of them.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's awful. But also, you know, I got introduced to, you know, Rush as a kid. So obviously Neil. So Dave Matthews, Carter Beauford. Like there's things that he still does in Say Goodbye with the hot rods that I'm like, I don't even know how you're doing this. Like this doesn't make sense how fast you're going.
He's an absolute animal. Oh my gosh, man. Like it's crazy that the drum parts that he's like crafted for that music is crazy. Like it's so awesome. And it like grooves and it fits, and that guy he really is something else.
And it's like
really.
we talked Dave Weckl, you know, and that weird like the crossovers that he would do with the traditional grip, and you're like, why does that work? Like why does that work? And then I saw a video of him the other day, and I'm pretty sure he was doing it still, and I'm like, that's just his thing now.
Totally. Weckl definitely another one for sure that like I missed on rattling them off. Like Weckl and Chambers, Dennis Chambers.
Oh my God,
were like,
yeah.
For a while there, they were like the two dudes. Like they were the the leading light of modern drumming, you know. So I definitely rode that wave. Sure. Had Dennis's you know, like instructional video.
Those were great.
On VHS, dude. I had this VHS. I had a GAD one too. I forgot about Steve Gadd. I mean, that's another one. Like, had his instructional I keep wanting to say DVD. These are VHSs. So we're dating myself right now, but
the Dave Weckls are literally within reach. I was like,
yep, the Wex, and he's got multiple sticks, right? He's got
those are probably 15 years old, probably,
because he's got that one, and then he's got the orange, kind of like orangish ones.
Yeah. But the Steve Gadd ones are very similar to those as well. Like it was a very similar weight and everything else, and
the black Steve Gadds, man. Like I rocked those for a long time.
Pretty sure I could dig them out if I really wanted to, but nobody wants to see me falling over.
Really, man, the Gadds. Yeah, I actually just speaking of Dennis Chambers, I just started like in the past like couple weeks. Just like I had a pair of his signature sticks just lying around, and I hadn't touched them in probably 10 years, and I just busted them out, and I'm like, ooh, actually, these are kind of nuts.
People could say all they want. I feel like sometimes when you pick up some of those sticks, you're getting a part of that person. It sounds weird. It sounds crazy, but I'm like, when I pick up those Buddy Rich sticks, I get better. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
You're not thinking about the person. You know, it's like picking up Buddy's sticks, like you're thinking about Buddy Rich, so it's like probably inspiring you a little bit for sure. Like the same thing with these Dennis Chambers. Like I'm like, because it's their exact stick. Like they didn't own that stick, but like they designed that stick. So there's a piece of them with you for sure.
And you think about like Carter, Mike Portnoy, Neil Peart, like all their sticks were very, very close. Obviously Neil and Mike's are the closest. Very light sticks. I'm like, I don't know how the stick's not just flying out of your hand. Like I just don't. Like it's wild.
Yeah, that's the other glimpse you get into drummers too, right? Like how their stick is designed. Like some of them big fat bats, and you're like, whoa, I can't believe that guy's rocking these huge sticks. And then other ones they catch you off guard. You're like, whoa, this dude plays like these tiny little sticks. Or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about.
It's like when the Ahead sticks came out, and they were like, they're unbreakable, and Joey Jordison was like, hold my beer. Like,
yeah, totally. I actually never. I remember seeing all the ads for those in the magazines, and I never rocked a pair. Never rocked a pair. You got them, huh?
Yep. I had to get the Lars ones. I mean, come on now.
Of course. Well, yeah, he was the dude for them when they first came out, right?
I don't think I've ever had the drumsticks close enough to just grab at will, so this is an interesting development in the show. Like, all right, pull out a drumstick. Like, tell me a story. Like,
you got experience with them. Yeah, I never messed with the head. And like you,
It's an awful sound.
what was the deal? You could like switch out the right. You could
Yeah, you could like switch out like the shaft portion of it, but it's like
yeah
they have that aluminum sound, and it's like if you ever hit like the rim or anything else, it's an awful sound, and you're like,
yeah
oh,
yeah,
like okay,
yeah
but
definitely. Kind of figured
yeah,
for whatever. I just figured it wasn't my cup of tea, but
no, it's not for everybody. And then obviously, we've talked about it on the show before, but my dad introduced me. He gave me Scenes from a Memory by Dream Theater when I was like 11,
yeah
and I just remember just being like, my head exploded. Like, this is a whole new type of music, and it's gone on. And there's so many different drummers out there, and there's so many different styles and everything else. And it's just, I used to be left-handed. I was left-handed until I was like 3 or 4. I had a German babysitter smack my hand every time I used it. But left hand, like, I do not hold like traditional, like a right-handed person. I hold it like a left-handed person, and it bothered everybody because they're like, you're not left-handed. And I'm like, but I used to be. Like,
yeah
this feels right. And it's interesting to see. I'm just throwing a random, like, Aquios, and I know I'm going to say their name wrong, and somebody's going to correct me, but their drummer plays open hand left, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, you don't.
Aqueous?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, totally. You're right. Yeah, the open hand left thing.
And it's so rare, especially in the funk, because I felt like that was so much harder to play things. It'd be
Yeah.
so much harder to do everything else that you're trying to do. And then he just made it flow, and I was like, my god.
Yeah, anybody can do. You can do it. You can do it anyway at this point. That's funny because I started when I first got drums. Like I didn't know anything, and I started open hand just because I just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So I started playing open hand, and then I started taking lessons. And my teacher immediately was like, He's like, we're switching those hands right around, boy. I don't care what it takes. Like, I don't care how much you got going this way. We're going this way. And I it's something that like it's still fun to practice. Kind of like get your mind thinking, strengthens your left hand to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you don't see people do it very at all. Yeah.
No, not at all. And it's so cool to see like just the different styles and everything else. And being a metal guy for years, like everybody has their different styles of it, but it's like funk in the last probably 8 years for me has like changed drastically, like influenced me drastically, because they're just doing so many different things with amen breaks and just styles and what I would think would go into a part, and they play something completely different. Like metal, you could kind of figure it out. You're like, oh, he's gonna do this. I mean, it sounds amazing, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, the funk and the jazz and like everything else just really changes how you view music.
Yeah, and I feel like the leveling up on just conceptually and like approach and just it's just like constantly, from the drums in that world, it's just constantly evolving and new like rhythmic concepts and approaches and stuff. It's really cool. It's just like you get to watch it evolve in real time, which is kind of neat, When you talk going back all the way to like the guys we were talking about earlier. I mean, you can go back as far as Buddy Rich, but like just the evolution. I mean, you're talking about funk, if you're talking about Dennis Chambers or whatever, Weckl, that kind of stuff. Like to see the change happen, really, and then the younger generation comes up with that and adds to it and changes it in their way, and it's pretty neat.
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Grayson DeCrutman. Like, the man can play anything. I swear he just can play anything. And you just watch him, and he's got the metal power when he needs to, but he's got the jazz when he needs it. He's got the funk when he needs it. And it's like he just turns on a switch. It's incredible to watch.
It's totally nuts. He's insane, dude. Like, so just like flawless technique and speed and power too with all of it. Yeah, he's like it like doesn't even compute when you watch him play. You're like,
he filled in for Trivium, and he was like, it was like a couple days notice, learned all their stuff, and I'm like, a couple days, you learned all that.
Yeah,
insanity. Like, it's just insane to me.
Yeah, he's just dialed into like obviously he's worked extremely hard too, and some people, it's like I feel like they get it quicker than than others. You know, it's like, you know, your mind is just set up to like accept all that information. You're like, totally got it. I'm sure he practiced his ass off to learn it all too, but
Oh yeah.
he's got something extra special happening, you know, with him for sure.
Yeah. Well, that was always me. Like, you'd be like, play this piece. And I'm like, I could read the music. And I'd play it. And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, let me hear the rest of it. All right, I got it. Or you show me how to do it once. Show me how to, okay, I got it. Like, you just had to figure out that rhythm, that timing.
Yeah.
And reading music and knowing what it looks like versus what it sounds like was such a completely different thing for me. And it was frustrating at times because I just listen. I'd be like, when the trumpet does this, this will happen. Okay, that's where I need to come in. Like, I would just find, like, those key points and be like, yeah, I'm not counting 164, you know, of waiting. And you're like, okay, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that was, I would always like, it was always like a challenge to me. I'd be like, I'm going to count all 160 bars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to do it, but it would be like, yeah.
Listen, it was Shenandoah. I had to play the triangle, and I literally had 4 hits in the entire song. And it was just on 1 and 3, and I'd be like, 1, damn it.
Yeah.
You're like, I waited this whole time, and I came up, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it makes it harder when there's like, you know, there's not a lot going on. Like it's you're waiting around for that one time. You know, you got to keep track of it or figure it out however you can. But yeah,
for sure.
The pressure on too when you just got 4 notes to hit too. You're like, yeah.
Well, instead of hitting you back up with the craziest in the bad way as far as a venue, what would be your dream venue? I know we've done Bonnaroo, so that's probably crossed off the list, but what would be like a dream venue for you guys to be able to play and really, you know, basically like just mind-blowing?
I mean, we haven't played Red Rocks. That's probably one to check, you know, that's got to be one to check off the list. So, yeah. Maybe one day. I mean, that's and obviously I've seen shows there, been there. That's probably the one if I had to say.
I'll be making it out there at some point. I gotta see it. Like, I just gotta experience that just once.
You have to, dude. You have to. It's set up and like, yeah. When you're close, like the band is like on your level. It's crazy. It's so cool. Yeah. So that's probably the one. Sure. I mean, so worst venue. It's hard to say maybe worst venue, but probably one of the most interesting experiences while playing with the heavy band. We were playing this festival in like West Virginia or something, and you know, pretty solid festival. I don't know, maybe we were playing in front of 500 people. It was like on the smaller side, but it was rocking. You know, we were like right in the middle of like some like dance jam, and there's this like girl in the crowd who just decided that it was her time to just hop on stage. Like, she walked, you know, she got on stage and then just like walked directly into my drum set, like just as if it wasn't even there. Like just walking and then just boom, fell completely over, like exploded my drum set. Like everything flew. Like, I mean, it's crazy to even say. Like, walked straight in. Imagine just walking straight into a drum set like it's not even there, and then just completely falling over top of it, and just you know, that was pretty wild. And like, you know, obviously we like kind of basically had to stop for a second. I mean, I think guys were kind of just noodling, and we like kind of quickly tried to piece everything back together. But like, she was literally just on top of the drum, like totally ridiculous. So that's a kind of a crazy moment that comes to mind for sure.
And see, that was a perfect.
Be careful of those, you know, fans jumping on stage, man. You never know how that's going to go.
Just reminded me, we went and saw Patton Oswalt last year.
Oh, love him.
And some lady just charges the stage. And it was at the Capitol Theater in Clearwater. So there's like a good, like, probably 10 foot. Like, she can't just, like, walk on the stage. She'd have to climb on it. And mid-show, she just starts yelling, Patton, and charges the stage. And security goes to grab her, and he's like, no. I want to see where this is going. Like, I got to see why this lady felt the need to just run up and start yelling my name. And she's like, when you used to live at this address in Hollywood, he's like, thanks for telling everybody where I used to live. Appreciate that. She's like, I was out for a walk, and I saw you and your dog, and you had a nice dog, and you let me pet the dog, and then I said thank you and walked away and didn't realize who you were until about 2 hours later. And he went, that's what you had to rush the stage for? Like,
So wait, did he like give her the mic?
no, she was just yelling it at him, and he's like,
Wow.
so this lady was sitting directly in front of us, and her husband is going like this the whole time. Just like appalled. No sooner did that end, she went back to her seat. Like 2 minutes later, they both got up and booked it. And I was like, I don't even know what just happened. But it was like, sometimes people just do it. They're just like, this seems like a good idea.
He accepted it and like just moved on from it. It was like, okay, cool.
He's like, Florida, guys. You're not helping yourselves, basically.
That's crazy. That's like a very rare thing to see, though. You know, like,
yeah, where he just let it happen.
Yeah. Also, how they deal with it too, right? That's part of it. You know, he like kind of took it in stride, and everybody probably laughed their asses off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a huge comedy fan too, and like I always appreciate how they choose to deal with. That's like always something it seems like they have to deal with. You know.
Yeah. How do I make this funny and embarrass this person who decided that this was the time they were going to go ahead and interrupt the show
in the middle of the show?
Yeah. And he was just like, let's see, because security was going for it, and he was like, no. Let's see what's happening here. So that's a perfect segue into the end, man. December 20th. The Heavy Pets, Guavatron, special guests that we don't even know about. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, even if you're close enough, you guys have to hit this show. I'm really excited for this 20 years. What you're going to bring to the table, I mean, it's going to be nothing short of amazing. And like I said, I'll be there, man. Thank you so much for coming on. And, this is the time I just let you, kind of talk about, like, anybody you want to thank, if you have any sponsors, like any of that kind of stuff, to really throw it out there and make sure they get their dues as well.
Yeah, I mean, really, the biggest thing coming up are those shows. So, like, get your tickets. That would be helpful. And come on out. Whether you're in Miami, South Florida, or wherever in Florida, you can kind of get to Janice, or you can get to Miami Beach Band Shell. I don't have any sponsors, so nobody to shout out there.
That's fine. Self-made, working class musician.
Yeah, exactly. Totally, man. Appreciate it, man. Seriously, thank you for having me on. This is really great.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I appreciate it again. Hang out for a few minutes after, and now I got a list of guys I got to look up that you're going to have to send me, because I'm going to do homework and be ready for you next time. All right. Thank you, brother. Just stick around, and good to go. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe to the DrumQuig Podcast. Thank you so much.